more about climate change is that there is no conceptual difference from a governance perspective between the terms climate change and the terms global governance.
Oh.
And here's why. It's because climate is the entire planet. It's every
everything.
system in the planet. And change doesn't mean change, it means existential crisis, to paraphrase the Green leader, Annamie Paul. So think about what we're doing, Canadians. Think about what we're doing. We're taking this phrase, climate change, we conceptualize it as a problem. Then we conceptualize it perhaps as a crisis. All right, and then we're ceding administrative power to governmental officials who parade their commitment to climate change as a high moral virtue. And then they can say, they can point to any piece of evidence they want that supports the crisis nature of the climate change, and that's always going to be there, a flood, a drought, fire, hurricanes, that proves that climate change is not only real, but it's an instant existential crisis, and that you're immoral if you don't put it at the top of the list. And because it means global governance, you essentially cede all your moral authority and all your policy-making power to any government that wants to do anything they want, as long as they use climate change as a justification. And that should worry environmentalists too, because what that does, using that catch-all buzz phrase, which really means global governance and nothing else, is that it obscures the attempts of anybody serious to deal with micro problems of the environment that could actually be solved.
Yes, exactly.
It's a terrible thing,
Well, it's not. I could link it, by the way. I don't think this is at all a far-fetched idea. We're being herded in some degree under the demands of the pandemic itself. We're becoming more relaxed in the suspension or the abridgment or the abandonment of some of our normal, legitimate democratic functions. And I see that the pandemic, in certain ways, is almost a preparatory course.
Yes.
That once you build a habit, this, by the way, but people's health is sacred. So you really can't object to us moving into this territory. If you have a good enough cause, you can build up the administrative state to heights never seen before. But we're doing
climate change. Climate change is the perfect excuse. It's the perfect excuse for that. And you can see, and you'd say, well, climate change is a terrible catastrophe and all of that. Said, well, I've interviewed Bjorn Lomborg a number of times, and if you want an intelligent discussion about the dangers, he's sane. And the thing about Lomborg too is he's an environmentally minded person.
Yes, he is.
And he does his cost benefit analysis with the input of the best economists in the world. And he'll take a look at a country, his team takes a look at a country and says, well, first of all, let's specify the problems that face us, rank order them, and then rank order them again in terms of how we can spend money the most efficient way to make progress on these areas. They do it. They have a policy generating apparatus, an analytic apparatus that does that. Now,